Glad to know you guys are still right there with us. If you're just tuning in, this is Real Talk with Kike, and we are with one of the energetic forces steering transformation for the Nigerian youth, Adebola Williams. He's been on the show to discuss some Nigerian-US bilateral relation as it affects Nigerians and Africa. Please join us by calling our phone line 0700 923 923 923. And of course, you can send us a message on our WhatsApp line 0817 313 6193. Let's hear your perspective. Send us your message. And of course, you can also query us. So, Debola, okay, we have a caller on the line. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Hello, my name is Tony.
Okay, what's your contribution today, please?
I want to first, I want you to ask, or let me directly ask your guest, since you said he supported the Buhari's administration, I mean, the first, I don't know whether he supported the second, the re-election bid. Maybe he supported the first one. He was instrumental to the election. So far, would you say that the administration he supported has performed creditably well to his satisfaction? And also, I heard him, I've been following the discussion, I heard him talk about America giving, not allowing Trump to come by the second term. You know, it is because vote counts in America. I want to categorically tell in Nigeria here, the case is, it reverses the case. Ordinarily, I don't believe that Buhari won the second term.
All right, many thanks for your contribution on the show. Debola?
Hi, Giga.
Yes. So, listening to you earlier, I can't help but ask about the Biden's victory. In one of the speeches after emerging the winner of the elections, he said that Trump not conceding to defeat would damage his legacy to democracy of the U.S. How valid is this statement?
I will just do one favor to the last caller.
Okay.
And honor that question.
Yeah.
In it. And also, just to be clear that I run a media company. I have many things. I run a continental media company, global media company.
Mm-hmm.
We serve countries. Senegal, we work for the president. Ghana, we work for the president.
Mm-hmm.
Work in several elections around the continent. I serve with the UN and several other organizations in youth development. And so I am not, being described, bringing Buhari into that might necessarily be, doing justice to my work.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that my organization has capacity to do.
Yes.
So because when you keep it to this way of that, you reduce my entire, life, to that.
Yeah.
I'm a youth development expert. That's my commitment. And that's what I have put on all my life. And that's what, I would rather you focused on. Also, I did not work for President Muhammadu Buhari in 2019. We didn't work on the election. We chose not to, so not because we were asked, but we chose not to. So it's important to...
that was in 2019?
Yes. But
in 2015?
The answer.
All right.
What I mean is, if you also have to be, very well informed of your guest.
Yes.
And, you cannot have information.
Yes.
And you pass information twice.
Yeah.
So, 2015 for me was not just an election. It was a passion for us, Nigeria, where we needed change. So we might have gotten into that, system and, not everyone happy, with the way things are going. But I think that everyone was a citizen, we always come together, to direct the nation the way we direct it. So it's just important to have information correctly. Back to, Biden saying that Trump not conceding will affect democracy. I mean, President Goodluck Jonathan left Nigeria, Nigerian presidency as a hero because of the confession.
Mm-hmm.
He raised his profile, He showed charisma. He showed leadership. It was a great moment, for him, and gave him the kind of respect that he had lost, as he lost that election. So, just looking at that and juxtaposing with America and the way Trump is handling this, he might just want to leave not only as a president that many have termed as bad, but who also, struggled and fought to stay in power, and was literally chased out of power, and that would even make his legacy worse.
Okay. So, thank you for putting that out there and for all the clarity for our audience and our listeners at the moment. I think moving on to COVID-19 management, because one of the cards that played against Trump was his hot administration and deplorable management of COVID-19 pandemic, making them one of the worst hit nations. How do you think America will pull through with the pandemic, knowing there's a vaccine now?
It's great. That's great news for everyone in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's great news. I mean, there's a vaccine and, 94% confirmed. Let's hope that, we have the factor clear, and that's great. I mean, it's just interesting that, while the leaders, the business leaders and many leaders in America have said Africa will be where they'll be picking dead bodies, God has a sense of humor, and they are the ones who are now desperately looking for that vaccine. Of course, we also did it on the continent, because no one wants to fall sick every 2 weeks and shut down their lives, but, the vaccine will be a big savior, to all the continuous rise in numbers that they're experiencing.
All right. So based on your own general assessment from the political angle to foreign debates, welfare, to economic buoyancy, to employment rates, to foreign relations, what's your evaluation, and how would you have rated the Trump administration?
Economically, as I said earlier, I think that in the early days, he did, have an economy that was doing quite well, continuing the trend that Obama began, and then they've also had, stronger periods. But I think the pandemic hit them hard. And that's why even your question, you said earlier that his undoing, was the pandemic. So this pandemic has clouded every decision he could have ever made, right? With jobs and employment and America for Africa, America for America. The pandemic, he mismanaged that clearly, and that has just, destroyed everything he tried to do. Because I was really excited. I wanted to see what he would achieve at the end of 4 years. This is America for America. I really wanted to see it. But it's a shame that he mismanaged, the pandemic, and thereby it affected everything, the economy, healthcare, and the whole world. And it all came crashing at the back of car.
All right. So I think because of time, this might definitely be my last question to you, or this will be my last question to you. Trump introduced a travel ban from certain Muslim majority countries, recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, increased hostility against, what's the name of this country, Venezuela. And this, of course, stirred animosity for him from different nations. How would you say these policies affected the presidency?
Well, I think he kind of played the long game. We can see this reflected his alignment with Israel. And of course, all that banning from people from majority of Muslim countries. He might yet again, Trump might, yet again might want to argue that he did that to protect his country. One page of ISIS attack, which is replicated around the world. So his policy on that, however, was a bit confusing. So on the one hand, he banned Muslim majority countries. On the other hand, he was an ally to Saudi and the Arab Gulf Emirates. So he was a hard man to understand. And in the end, it is proved that ultimately his loyalty was to his own people and to business. So whichever way benefits him, he went there. That's why if the pandemic didn't happen, it would have been good to see the end of Trump's administration. It would have been good to see how that would have passed out.
All right. Many thanks, Adebola, for your brilliant contributions. I see the reason why you are potentially one of the great African leader in the making. It's important to actually chip that in. More successes in your career and endeavors. I definitely would love to bring you back. Thank you so much for sharing part of your evening with us here. I really appreciate it.
All thanks to God. I'm nothing without God. Without the opportunities Nigeria gave me, the problems that they gave me, that I tried to solve, doing my own little, and I encourage everyone to do their own little. If you're not happy with something, change it. If you can contribute to government, contribute on the outside. All of us must just take the bits we can. If everyone did their job correctly, even if the governor or anyone is not doing well, if every one of us did our plumbing work, our carpentry work, our professional work correctly, Nigeria will be a decent, a better place than we have at the moment. So there is nothing to see in government that is not a reflection of everyday Nigeria. So I do my bit too, and I pray and hope that every one of us will also do the little we can to move my country forward.
All right. Thank you, Adebola, for that. I think that will be our closing remarks. Just to chip it in, courtesy Omoluabi personality from Goldberg is aim for the excellence, and even when you don't hit the mark, you would have succeeded. Thank you so much again, Adebola, for being on the show today. So our closing remarks, as I said, is for you to aim at the excellence. So this is where I draw the curtains for the show today. Till I come your way next week, my name remains Kekelo Matondao, and you have been on Real Talk. Bye now.